Hi, Karen Worley, General Manager, Eve's Bay of Plenty, and today I'm talking to Grant Child, auctioneer for Eve's Realty. Grant, here we are in your happy place again.
Happy place. This is the auction room, Karen. I'm as comfortable in here every week as I am in my own skin 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And you do a great job for the Eve's Realty. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, just on that, tell me, is every property that we bring to the market suitable for auction?
As an auctioneer, I'd probably be expected to say yes, but the reality of it is no. There's certain properties that require lots of research and due diligence and homework and that sort of thing. Probably more like things like big subdivisions, so things that have got a commercial twist to it, something that needs resource consent, lots of council investigations, those sorts of things. Those sorts of properties that have an extended period of what we call homework, they're probably more suited to a tender than what they are to auction. But I'd have to say the bulk of residential properties have, whether it be a small cross-lease, two-bedroom investment type property, right through to the palatial homes on big sites. Yeah, of course they're all they're suited to auction, because a lot of it is not actually about the property, it's about the motivation of the vendor. And when you think about the auction process, it's all about willing buyer, willing seller.
For sure.
So, yeah.
For sure. Just recently I was talking to realestate.co.nz and they were telling me that a lot of the inquiry that we're getting here in the Bay of Plenty at the moment is from overseas inquiry, obviously with COVID, but also particularly from Auckland. They've just come out of level 3 and we're getting a lot of inquiry. And we're seeing lots of activity in the auction room. Can you tell us a little bit about that right now?
Well, we're seeing a raft of activity, Karen, in the auction from a wide range of buyers, and it's not necessarily all Auckland. Or overseas based. It's just, we live in a great place in the country here in the Bay of Plenty, and there's lots of people, especially here in Tauranga, and the Mount, where people are wanting to come and reside. So we're seeing lots of first home buyers back in the marketplace, obviously taking advantage of the low interest rates and that sort of thing. That's great. One of the most exciting parts of in this auction room is when you see people buying their first home. The hammer comes down, they burst into tears, they're hugging each other and all that sort of stuff. It's just absolutely fantastic. We're seeing investors back in the marketplace, again, probably taking advantage of those low interest rates. So we're seeing a wide range of buyer activity in the marketplace. We're seeing lots of vendors in here that are selling their properties because they're just moving from one chapter of their lives to the next. So it's it comes back to the market is the market is the market, and it just keeps on turning. It never ever stops. You never go any time in a month where there's no property to sell. So it's just business as usual.
For sure. And of course we are seeing right now lots of activity in terms of pre-auction offers, multi-offers, etc., etc. Tell us about some results. What's actually happening?
Well, hey, look, here's some results here. Look, here's our Eve's Bay of Plenty Waikato. This incorporates the whole lot. So just for the month of August, we had 65 auctions we called, and we sold 47 of them. So that equates to 72% of everything that we took to auction we've actually sold. But look at this, when you look at this, at the red part of the pie chart here, of those 47 properties that we sold, 64% of them were sold under the hammer in the auction room. So that's phenomenal. And when you look at we've only had 3% were sold prior to auction day. A lot of pre-auction activity as the auctions are actually brought forward. And the main reason for that is the vendors, firstly, it ensures and gives them the comfort that they've got the best that the market's prepared to pay, but they also seem to be fair to all buyers that have registered interest in their property as well. So, and that's a key factor as to why we bring the auction forward. It's so that every buyer, it's a fair, an even playing field, if you understand what I mean. And then we had another 5%. Those properties didn't actually sell under the hammer in the auction, but they were signed up within 14 days of the auction being called and have gone unconditional. So 72% of everything we took to auction in August, done.
That's a brilliant result, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the ones that go in under contract after auction, they are because there's conditional buyers? Or?
Yeah, so a lot of those buyers are actually like the first home buyers as well, and fair enough, because they've got due diligence. Banks are requiring valuations. Banks are requiring builders reports before they'll approve finance. Some of the banks won't approve finance until they've actually got a contract. Some of the banks are a little bit slow in getting approvals through. So those buyers, they come to the auction, find the properties, then the auction's closed, property's still available, they put a conditional offer to the vendor, subject to finance, builder's report, and then subsequently go unconditional, so it's job done. So that's what we call phase 3. So phase 1 of the auction is obviously lead up to auction day, calling the auction phase 2, and then straight into phase 3 afterwards. So it's just a process.
So what I'm hearing, Grant, then is that auction doesn't preclude any buyer at all?
No.
Conditional or unconditional?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. We get quite often at the moment, particularly with the way the market's running red hot at the moment, lots of buyers putting an offer forward, giving the agents all the details and everything. So the contract's all filled out, the agents are here, they've got the contract, the buyers turn up, auction's closed, straight into reception, put a price in, sign it, present it to the vendor straight away, and there's quite a bit of that happening as well. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, clearly the preferred way is to sell unconditionally.
You're asking the wrong person to carry on an auction here. Of course it's going to be the preferred way to sell, but like I said, transparency, that's what it's really all about. When you're buying something at auction and you have to compete with somebody else for it, then it's reassuring knowing that you're buying something that somebody else wants, got to be good for resale.
And secondly, you haven't paid too much for it. Because
Exactly.
there's somebody that equally wants it as much as you do.
Well, actually, that's a key point, Karen, because lots of people think it's the vendors that dictate the value of a property, and it's actually not. It's actually the buyers. So any buyers out there buying at auction, you're the ones that determine the value of the property, not the vendors. The vendors just make a decision whether they're prepared to accept what you're saying or not. Pretty simple process, eh?
For sure. Grant, always good talking to you. Thanks very much for your time today. And we look forward to catching up again next month to see what's happening.
Here's to a good spring.
Thank you.